Hey Tech Nitwit family, this is another unboxing attempt. This is going to be number 2. I had some problems with the cameras, but we got it squared away and we're going to do it again. So if the computer looks a little bit weird, this is why. Let's go over what we are going to do in this video today, Tech Nitwit family. And this is going to be an unboxing. We're going to do a stock benchmark, then upgrade. You see all this stuff on the table, and we are going to stick all this in here. I just want to give you guys an FYI. There's a YouTuber out there that I wasn't going to name, but I am going to name. Toasty Bros said that this thing is what it is with its power supply. I don't agree with that. That's some bad information to be given people that are buying these. So, hey Toasty Bros, if you want to reach out, talk to me, it's okay. I'm not trying to throw blows, but guys, you got to give the right information. This stuff's kind of key. So that's what we're going to do in the video today, and it's going to be a pretty quick video. We are going to max this bad mamma jamma out with the 500 watt power supply, 32 gigs of DDR4 2666, an RTX 3070, and an i5 10400. I could not find the i7 10700 non-unlocked processor. What I mean by that is if this processor on the box has a K, it will not work for this TP. So just FYI. All right, guys, stick with me and we are gonna jump into this first benchmark and unboxing. All right, guys, we're gonna bust right into this bad mamma jamma. I'm gonna get my trusty Milwaukee razor knife out and we're gonna pop this can open. So this thing does come with an i3 4.3 gigahertz. So we're gonna pop this bad mamma jamma open, and this thing comes with the 4.3 gigahertz Intel iCore 3. It also has a 256 gigabyte NVMe M.2 M key in here, and our storage is 8 gigabytes of DDR4 2666. The first thing to come out of the box is the wonderful keyboard and mouse. I would not game with this. I will show you guys what it looks like. It is sufficient to do like your homework, maybe some browsing. But the keys are so tight on this thing. I don't know if the Zoom wants to take a look at it. The keys are so tight on this thing, it is not a very good gaming setup. It will do its job as a keyboard and mouse though. It is very generic, kind of on the cheaper side. Second thing to come out of this box, the quick guide, how to set your computer up. A power cable. This is the only cable externally that comes with this computer. It does come with a bag of screws, which is kind of neat. These are for internal hard drives only. They do not come with SSD screws. They're a little bit different. You're going to want to order those if that's the case. Throw this on the table for you guys. And then last but not least, our wonderful TP01. Now I know you guys, I told you that this was a second shoot. So of course this is the second time I've had this computer out of the box. It's already been out. I apologize, our cameras were set. My general was literally slow speed and my nifty 50 was high speed, so things got a little bit screwed up there. So the first thing you're gonna see is this beautiful brushed guard in the front. I wanna show you guys something in comparison. I have a TG01, just different fronts. TP01 is pretty much anything you could do to this TG, you could do to this TP. And let me get the plastic off. It is UHD 630 onboard graphics. So right up top we have a power button, we have a regular headphones jack, and then we have 4 USB 3.0s. We also have a 3-in-1 card reader, which this guy will take everything from micro SD to regular XDXEs. You also have a 5 gigabytes per second USB-C port in the front. There is no DVD-ROM. You can order this separately. It's kind of the way of the dinosaurs anyways. But if you look at this side, this is the same side panel that is on our TG01. Coming around the front, it's the same ports as our TG01. Literally the only difference is this front that you see on this case. That's the only difference between these two. The cages inside are the exact same. I will pop the cages off on both of these, the side panels, and I will show you. Coming around the rear, just as the TG01 to be a comparison, is pretty much the same thing. You might notice that these ports are unplugged right here. This is because it's onboard graphics, the 630 UHD graphics from Intel. You got the same audio ports up top. You got a mic, you got a headphones, and you got an auxiliary. Got a 101000 Ethernet port in the rear. You have 4 more USB dingies in the back. I have these ports open because I had an external graphics card already in here. And this is a 180 watt power supply. It is not what it is. You can upgrade this to a 400 or 500 watt power supply. I will be doing that in this video. I'm not showing how to do it. If this video gets enough popularity, I will do some walkthroughs on this computer. But you can relate to my TG01 video because it's literally the same thing with this PC. Let me get this stuff off the table. Or no, you know what? I said I was going to pop the sides off for you guys so you can see the insides. So let me get a iFixit kit, which is a T15. And technically it's cray throwing stuff around set. Get this guy undone. And if you see, I already have some metal bent to try to fit my RTX 3070 in here. So that was already done in the previous video that got shot. But if you see, this cage is the exact same thing. The only thing that is different is this heatsink. This is the i3 heatsink. The i5 and i7 heatsink is taller and larger. I had that on the table at the beginning, guys. This is what it's going to look like. I will show you later on in the video the comparison to the two, but it is not the same thing. This is a larger heatsink. This heatsink's actually larger right here than on this i3. I would say if you're going to do something, get the either small Noctua or large Noctua if you're going to keep running this PC. You don't have to do the fan upgrades, but at least do the CPU upgrade heatsink. That's the big guy. So I'm going to come around the rear and the gear with the TG, and we're going to pop this side off. I don't know the condition of this thing. It's just been sitting on my set, so stuff might come flying out. So as you can see, this already has 500 watt power supply in it. It's got a 1650 in it with the small Noctua. It's got 16 gigs of XPG in there already. So all this stuff will fit in here. You can do, if you see, it's the same PC pretty much, just a different front, guys. I'm gonna get the TG off the set, and we are gonna get this thing doing some benchmark. Hey guys, we got the stock benchmark done, and I'm going to go over some numbers, but a couple things I forgot before. I did want to talk about this guy. It does come with an M.2 M-key Wi-Fi adapter and Bluetooth card. There are extra hard drive cables in this computer, so if you want to add an extra hard drive or SSD, it does come with. This computer will allow one M.2, one hard drive, and one SSD. You could take that hard drive out and put in two SSDs, but that's for a different time or a different matter. You can do a normal GPU. There is a 16X PCI 3.0 slot in here. There's also a 1X slot if you want to do like a streaming card or some other card that needs a 1X. It does have support for 2 monitors in the rear. I didn't mention that in the beginning of the video, but I wanted to go over that quick before we got into it. And the Intel UHD graphics will do 4K. This is a 4K monitor that you see. It's what I do all my testing with. I would say that if you're going to do some gaming with this thing, you're going to want a 2K or 1080p monitor just because it's going to work more efficient and be actually what you want it for. Gaming. Unless you're doing video editing, then you might want 4K, but it's up to you. All right, guys, well, let's see what the TP01-1114 scored, and it scored a 967. It's not too bad for just a processor and an APU. Battlefield 5 1080p Ultra is less than 30 frames. If we come down to Apex Legends, that's 20 frames per second. GTA 5, we get less than 30. Fortnite, we're looking less than 20. And Red Dead Redemption, which just kills all graphics cards to begin with, is nothing. If you're trying to play that game, you need an external graphics card, I'm sorry. We could go up to the 1440p numbers. They just get a little bit lower. I would expect that if you have an i3 like this, 10100, and you want to play any games higher than 30 frames per second, 30, 40 frames per second, you could also lower the settings so you're not on ultra, so you get 60 frames per second. You might be able to do that with Red Dead Redemption, but this will play video games. This will do the basic stuff you want it to do. All right, guys, we are going to throw everything we can at this PC to show you what it can become. Give me a couple seconds, and yeah, we'll get this bad mamma jamma rocking and rolling. All right, guys, we got this other benchmark done. We got the upgrading done. As you can see, we got the RTX 3070 in there with the i5 10400. One thing I did want to show you guys is this is the difference between the i3 cooler and an i5, i7. It's a pretty big chunk of metal difference. The fans are the same, but of course the heat sinks are not the same. If you can get away with the small Noctua, I would say that that's a pretty good upgrade for 50, 60 bucks. This power supply is about 170, which is the 500. And of course, we're not even going to talk about an RTX 3070 right now because the price of that is just... It does not come with dual channel RAM. You are going to want to do that. Either order it from the factory with dual channel, or you're gonna wanna put it in there. It's like having one garden hose this size and adding two the same size next to each other. Even if you go down into a slower speed of RAM, it is still gonna be better to have dual channel. It's not the capacity of RAM, it's actually the pipeline the RAM, you know, the processor and everything uses. Last but not least, let's talk about our 3D Mark score. We scored 23,188, and let's go over the FPSs with this upgrade. Of course, if you have this PC and you want to slowly upgrade because it's a starter PC or however you go about it, this is 1440p Ultra. Battlefield 5 is going to get 110 frames plus. Let's look at Apex Legends. We're going to be looking at about 125 frames plus. And then let's look at GTA 5, 70 frames plus. Let's look at Fortnite, 120 frames plus. This is on 1440p Ultra. And then Red Dead Redemption, which eats all graphics cards, 45 plus frames a second on 1440p Ultra. This is pretty much upgraded to the max other than putting the i7-10700 in, which is a non-unlocked processor, FYI fam. So one other thing I do want to say is if Toasty Bros didn't like what I said about their video, I'm not trying to blast you guys, but hey, if you're going to give out information, you got to be giving out the right information and not the wrong information. But anyways, guys, this was a Tech Nitwit video, and I give this TP01 2 Tech Nitwit thumbs up of approval, guys. Hey guys, it's Tech Nitwit here. Make sure you guys subscribe and like and hit that bell. Thanks.